TLDR for people who don't want to watch the full apology, I apologize about the Great Festival Heist video I released on August 9th, and I take full accountability and blame for the terrible writing, the terrible tone I had, and the bad intent that came from the video, which caused outrage everywhere, caused everyone to be affected, and I fully apologize and take accountability for everyone affected and the servers and places affected as well. I also clear up some common misconceptions that are being spread around because of my video's terrible wording and clear up everything that needs to be cleared up. If you want to learn more about the specifics of this entire thing, you can continue watching. Let's just cut to the chase immediately of this video. This video is basically related to the video I uploaded on August 9th called The Great Festival Heist. A video that detailed an operation me and friends had where we basically joined Team Tragedy at the last second and see how far we could go and see if Team Tragedy would win and stuff. This video was unfortunately really badly worded, had a terrible tone to it, and there was many misconceptions that I listed there that I could have fixed easily if I just paid more attention to the video. I am incredibly fucking sorry, and I fully apologize for all the damage I have caused with this video, all the damage it caused to people, and overall just everything that this video did. And I won't get into all the things with the video that was bad, but it mainly had terrible wording choices, the tone was horrible, there wasn't really a lesson in the video, but people thought there was, which made it very awkward, and a lot of my, just in general, talking things just weren't good. It felt like a very slap in the face, it felt demoralizing to people, and again, I feel incredibly fucking sorry for all that. I also want to address a few other things before I really get to my few talking points here. If you are uploading this video as an archival for archive reasons, I highly advise you to private the video right now. No one is really comfortable with it being up right now, especially, and it would be much better if you could just archive it because it honestly further promotes more toxic behavior from people and people attacking each other, and I don't want that to happen. Please private those stuff. And I also want to address something of the reason why I wasn't really talking during this time. And that was because I was MIA for around 6 to 7 hours. I was attending a friend's birthday party. And I never check the internet when I'm at a birthday party usually. I like to socialize with everyone there. And I was basically missing in action for the height of this whole drama. So I wasn't really there to really explain stuff. So now I'm here making this apology, apologizing to everyone affected, everyone who was a part of it, everything, and just everyone. Because I fucked up. I made a huge mistake. I should learn from this mistake much better and just try to really realize the actual problems I've caused with this, and I will learn to be a better fucking person and just better general, just in general, because of the mistakes I've caused. Now that I've just cleared all that out of the way, I just want to talk about some talking points that were being presented throughout this whole drama, and I just want to clear them up. The first thing I've seen mainly was how people thought pros were swaying the outcome, we were rigging the results in some way, and that is completely false. First off, there was about 50 of us who were in on this operation. It was more like 48, but let's just say 50 for just simpler reasons. And considering how many people were on Team Tragedy, which I'm gonna be a lowball number and say around 6,000, which is a big lowball. There was definitely more than 6,000 Tragedy players, but a group of 50 players are never gonna make a big impact when there's 6,000 players. Because a lot of things the festival scores on is averages. And we're not playing to win, by the way. We were not planning to play just because we want Tragedy to win. Because one, that is 50 players. Two, we want to have fun with this festival because it was the first festival in 10 months. And three, we've had our own reasons to join this operation, which I will get into later when I talk more about the operation itself. But a group of 50 players aren't going to make as big as an impact as you might think, because we're obviously the minority of the player groups, and 6,000 players are going to get way more higher averages than 50 players are in the long run, which is why we don't really have an impact as much as people think we do. We're not going to get as much wins, we're not going to get as much kills. That's just simply how it is when there's bigger player groups. And I unfortunately didn't really acknowledge that in my video, and people thought I was downplaying the efforts of tragedy players, which I fully apologize about. There was a part in the video where I said we weren't really the catalyst for winning this festival. However, I still want to apologize either way. I should have been way more explicit about that, and I just fully apologize and sorry for just not being explicit with that information. But yeah, we just wouldn't make too much of a difference, especially since we are doing this more for fun than actually winning. And just because we're good at the game does not mean we're gonna really like change the scores up. Because again, we're just 50 players, we're the minority of this. I'm just stating that. We wouldn't really affect the outcome. Another thing also is that like just because we're pros, like also if you think like, oh well, pros will always weigh the outcome, a lot of the pros were still with comedy. Like we've asked some people if they want to join on the idea, and they're like, nah, I will stick with comedy, I don't want to join this whole plan and stuff, which is perfectly okay. And even then, while pros do not affect the outcome whatsoever because we're just minority, yada yada yada, um it, it's just such a very awkward thing to say because you are kind of forgetting about the bigger scale of players that are on each team. As I said, I'm lowballing with the number of 6,000 plus tragedy players. There was more than 6,000 plus, and they would obviously be the majority of the scores for the win losses and kills and all that other KD ratios. So I just wanted to make that clear. But now there's also the big thing where it was people talking about how the plan is malicious. And the plan wasn't actually malicious. I really should have phrased the plan better in the video. That was fully on me. I apologize and very sorry for how I phrased how the plan was made. The plan was made for a variety of reasons, though, instead of just like, oh, we're all on this thing and, we're going to change it up, we're going to switch it up. Um, a lot of people mainly joined in on the idea also for different reasons. Some of us joined in because we wanted to push ourselves to the absolute limit and we wanted to see how far it could really go. Some of us mainly joined because our friends were on the team as well and we wanted to join in with them on this little fun plan. Some of us also used it as a shield from the whole witch hunting allegations that were going around. There was a ton of them on Twitter mainly, and a lot of pro players, supposed pro players, were very like very, very, very uncomfortable with what could happen. So it also kind of helped us with that too. But most of us mainly did it for the fun aspect of it and also for the secretive aspect of it. Because the whole secret aspect of it was pretty fun. We thought it would be a very fun surprise at the end when we realized, well, you realize some of us were actually not on comedy. Whoa. But that didn't really turn out in the greatest of taste at all, which again on me, I do take accountability and blame for some of that bad taste. um there's also I also want to just state like a lot of the deceitful elements, mainly like the propaganda video I uploaded, as well as some other people that were like blending into the comedy thing. That was a part of the secretive aspect we were doing with this operation. This operation was meant to be more of a secret type of thing, and then it's a big reveal. And I think we definitely accomplished it, but I feel like I could have gone about it much better instead of being openly deceitful to people, which, to be fair, was my fault. I should have said that my whole propaganda video should have been a joke. I just thought it was obvious, but I should just be a bit more obvious that like that video was a joke and all this stuff. It just was a very huge mess when it came to the whole deceitful elements of people. It was just a very big weird thing, and the plan should have just not been this whole secret thing because people took it the wrong way, and I fully understand why they took it the wrong way. It's a big apologies on me and just like in general. I do also just want to slot this in very quickly here about how people were upset that maybe we were rigging the festival. I just want to bring this up again. I feel like the video's theatrical elements definitely played a role in the perception of a lot of the stuff people were talking about, which I fully apologize for. I was trying to go for something, but it just didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. and it caused a lot of people to think about stuff like how we might have rigged the festival and stuff. I just wanted to put that in there right now, just to say it now because I just realized how big of an issue that might have been because of how I presented the video. I'm fully sorry. I take full accountability for just all the chaos my tone might have caused for the theatrical elements I was including. But then this brings me to the last thing I want to talk about relating to this video. It's not related mostly to the drama, but it's more of a general thing. And I think people should just stop putting so much value onto pros and putting like a demonizing antagonistic aspect on pro players. I know this video kind of enforced these behaviors by total accident, which I fully apologize for, but I don't think people should be going out of their way to harass and see pro players as like gods when while I do think pro players had a play in how people see the pro players, I also just think like the whole label of a pro player has kind of just evolved itself into being almost a dehumanizing label in a way. It just feels like we're being not seen as like actual humans behind a screen. It just feels we're mostly being seen as no lifers who just lash out at everyone, who are mad at everyone, who just want to make everything as unfun as possible. And that's not why. That's not what we are. Most of us play the game for fun and we just happen to be good at it. Just because we're good at the game does not mean we want you guys to have a terrible time. We aren't trying to make this game bad for you guys, and we don't want to be seen as like these robots who are like being very antagonistic, dehumanized to just be like these players. And I just wanted to bring this up because it's such a very it's a label that's kind of just lost all of its meaning. It just feels more like a label to just insult people now after this whole thing. And I think my whole video just caused this fiasco to go out of control completely even more. And I just feel so sorry to because it's affected a lot of my friends, a lot of people I know in the community, and I'm just incredibly sorry for how that happened. It it's just a big thing, but I'm gonna stop that there. If there's anything you want me to apologize for, take accountability for, or just anything you want me to clear up, you could gladly leave a YouTube comment. I'll try to get back to you as best as I can, as soon as I can, and take accountability for where it is. If you want to shoot me a private message about something, you don't feel like putting it into the public, you can DM me on Discord, Nico Nexus, all lowercase, if you really want me to. I will gladly reach out to you and I'll try to have a talk with you about like what you want me to explain. Um Other than that, I think this is the end of this apology. I hope you accept it. I hope everyone can finally just try and get together and just we could just move on from the absolute shit show this has caused. I am very sorry for everything that has happened. I'm just incredibly sorry. Have a good day.